Assalamualaikum. Let me move myself back. Let me move myself back. So, assalamualaikum. This is day 7. Welcome to my channel. This is Empress, and this is TIEbyKidist with Empress, and I am documenting my water fast. I am not going to get distracted by the chat today because I don't know what it is, if it's bots or whatever, but it'd be some weird things going on in the chat. Inshallah, God willing, I will get my schedule. I'll probably do a live with StreamYard on Sunday so I can actually see what's going on this page, because the YouTube live stream is just it's a little weird. But that way Sunday I can do a check-in. I can share what my weight loss is for the week. I will do a fit check so that you all see where I am with my progress. I will upload some photos to see where I started to now. I am really dealing with temptation. Like tonight, I was supposed to go over one of my sister's house, and she wanted to offer me something to eat, and then she wanted to offer me juice, and I had to really check myself and be like, I don't have willpower right now to really be able to be amongst my friends and to focus on what I need to do for myself. So I am at a point where I'm kind of having to separate myself, because I've had a couple of pitfalls where I went into social events and it was just not easy. So what I'm learning about temptation is that you have to know where you are so that you can really focus on your goal, because this water fast is taking a lot. Like, I am even doing a noise fast. Like, when I ask certain people not to call me because I need to focus on my wellness, they're calling me anyway. So now I'm at a point where I'm not taking phone calls. I need to really focus on this journey. I was talking to my therapist. Shout out to Yolanda. Everyone needs a good therapist. And we kind of figured out my relationship with food, in the sense where I wasn't a fat kid. I wasn't a fat teenager. Even for most of my adult life, I was not obese. This is within the last 7 years that I really gained all this weight, and I have taken myself to this crazy state where I'm at. And understanding your triggers of why you deal with food in a emotional sense, it was a lot that I had unpacked in this session, and it was all about your brain health. So I know for me, might be a little bit TMI, but I'm just saying what I remember. As a child, I was I developed very early, and I developed my menstruation when I was something like 7, and I was going through the PMS, and I used to get sick, and my parents were like really concerned what was going on with their baby. My mom had a healthy relationship with food, but my father did not. So I remember while I was homesick, my father would bring me, not, he would say, baby, what do you want, to eat? Because he just wanted to comfort me. And I'd be like, Daddy, I want Rolo. I want 1,000-gram bar. And instead of him buying like one Rolo and 1,000-gram bar, in the store, how like the candy come in the box and you just take one out the box. Well, he would just buy an entire unopened box, bring it to me, sit it on the bed next to me while I was like homesick, and I would sit and eat the Rolos, like devour them. And then when it was all done, it made me feel better. And what I realized as an adult, the reason why I was able to maintain a healthy weight and a healthy relationship with food because I was so focused on my children's nutrition and health that I automatically was also being taken care of. So I didn't have sugar in the house. I didn't have snacks in the house. And when my children got sick, I didn't comfort them with food. I comfort them with hugs, talks, outdoor activities. So I'm noticing that once my children became empty nesters, and now here I am by myself, and all the challenges that I had went through with work, relationships and things, and even my adult children, I reverted back to those comfort levels that was taught to me as a child. And what I learned, because having that kind of transition happened to my body at such an early age. At the age of 7, I was 8 when I first had those women issues. That's traumatic for a child. So I've developed, you know, that's how I respond to trauma, stress, and things just like that 8-year-old child. So as I'm unpacking things with my doctor and I'm learning, why we do certain things as an adult, it's really it really helps. It empowers me to know how to correct it and do something different, because I feel like our relationship with food is just not because we like it, we're greedy. It starts with, it's a coping mechanism that we learned when we were children, and it trickles into our adulthood. If we never address it, you never know when it may kick in. So for me, always being at a normal size, this is really challenging to now realize that I had gotten to the point where I was so stressed and so traumatized with whatever I was dealing with, that I was like, I don't care. I know what this is going to do. I knew what sitting there and eating, what was, I don't know, whatever chocolate, like, cookies, snickerdoodles, vegan chocolate cake. I knew what that was doing to me, but because of the trauma, I didn't care. So now, as I am learning why I am doing this, because it's so important to understand your relationship with food and why you do it. My friends, I have a habit, like I am known as a foodie, and I go to all these great places, and I'm always going by myself, which I did not really understand at first, but that's a sign of depression, because you're systematically cutting yourself off. So I was I was jumping into my food addiction like head first, but I was doing it in a uppity like I was going to the finest restaurants, and I was just, trying out new exotic vegan restaurants and this and that, in the name of veganism. I tell you, veganism and vegetarianism, those are trick bag names. I realize now I need to be more plant-based. But I was diving into that world because what I did not realize is when you go through a depression, you tend to separate yourself from people. So I was getting into my food addiction by myself and didn't understand that it was a food addiction that I was creating. I mean, it ends here. It ends here. And I don't care what anyone says. Being obese it's like I'm all down for body positiveness. Like, I love me, I love the way I look, but I don't like the way I feel. And no, I don't like being in this super large body. However, I feel like if I walk up English is not my first language. It was stolen from me. Sorry. If I walk up a flight of steps, I don't want to be winded. If I walk a mile half a mile, I don't want to be winded. When I go to sleep at night, I don't want to go to sleep thinking, am I going to wake up in the morning? I'm losing my breath. You get sleep apnea. Like all these things that you get, the swelling, the inflammation, high blood pressure. And, thank goodness I haven't collected diabetes. All these things come from food addiction and not really taking control over your health. For me, being healthy is number one, and all the things that come with it are a perk. I want to have longevity. I want to be here for my grandchildren. So now I learned that when I was separating myself from people and not talking to them, I was going through a depression, but I'm working through that. But I found myself saying, okay, now I want to try to incorporate, a social life and go around my friends. And okay, someone was calling me and I don't even know. I hope you can hear me. But someone was calling me, just what I was talking about. Like when I'm trying to deal with my mental health, I get interrupted with my, struggles of trying to work things through myself. Like sometimes we need to be separate from people. I know for me, I need to be separated from people so that I can focus, because I don't really want to hear your like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Come here, come there. Like sometimes you got to take that time for yourself so that you can focus on your wellness and to really get into being disciplined, because going through this process, it is challenging. And one of the things that I find with people with me is they're always pulling at me. And what I was doing, instead of addressing it, I was running to food to comfort myself. Um, and it's an interesting thing. So, with that being said, I'm really excited about my progress from the time that I started. I have been progressively losing, a pound a day, which is, I think, amazing. Right now, I'm about 22 hours into this fast, and I'm debating if I want to push through to try to go into the next day to go into 30, because I said I wanted to do 30. But at this point, I'm kind of like really over fasting. And so how can I be disciplined? Like, can I push myself through this? One of my friends, she wanted me to come over tonight, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know if that would be good for me. So this is a process. This is a process. It's definitely a struggle. Right now, I know I need to keep my distance from a lot of people in their word sound, because I remember it was a time when I had lost the weight, went back to my normal weight after I had my kids. And, the people who just met me were used to me being a little chunky. So when I got back to my normal weight, it was like the word sounds of like, oh, you're too small. You need to gain some weight. Now, I'm hearing people telling me, oh, you're fine at your size. You look fine. And I'm like, what is this? Like, when I'm at my healthiest, people don't want you there. And, so I realized for me, I got to get away from word sounds, other people, outside chatter, and really focus on what I'm doing. Uh, yeah, it's interesting in the relationship with food, because you have to have food for nourishment. You have to have food uh, to be able to regenerate yourself, but it's a healthy balance. Now I could probably go another night, into the morning and just eat my breakfast tomorrow morning. Because honestly, I'm not really feeling hungry. I am feeling satiated, but I just really want to taste something. I just really want a taste of something good. And I don't know, and that's interesting because one of the things when you have a food addiction is understanding when you're the difference between you're hungry or you just want something to eat, knowing when you're full and when to stop. And I never had that issue before, but because I allow myself to get to this point, I have these thoughts now like, when is a good time to eat, when is not a good time to eat? Because honestly, I'm not hungry. I just want to taste something good. So that's one of the things when you're doing these water fasts, you start noticing these things. You're like, well, I'm really don't need to eat. I could push it forward. And I know my ultimate goal is to get to a rolling 72 fast. Um, so I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that. It's like, I don't know where these chat people are coming from, but it's very weird. Okay, Lakia, you look like a normal person because I don't know what those other things are. Keep up the good work and thank you for keeping me motivated to continue my 72-hour fast. That's awesome. You're doing it. Yeah, it's different. I feel like we have to help each other, keep each other motivated. My accountability partner, she just does it like no problem. She's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do 72 hours. I think I'm gonna do 30. I think I'm gonna, it's like she picks and choose how many hours she wants to do, and she does it. And I think that's amazing. That's where I want to get to. I was sitting at my desk today, and, honestly, I'm the type of person when I'm into something, that's all I can focus on. So I just listen to different channels and different people who go through water fasts and who are going through this, or have gone through what I'm going through now. And so I'm constantly taking notes. I have all my apps. I'm in my apps here and there, checking out things. Checking out. Am I in ketosis? Am I in apathy? Apophagy. I can never say that word, but it's interesting. So uh, I was listening to this one faster. He really, I find him really interesting. A little Asian guy who totally does it the way I don't want to do it, because he does like these rolling 90s, and then he gorges himself with food, and then he does a 90, but he lost weight doing that. And so for me, I don't know what's going on. So that kind of motivated me to be like, all right, your fast may not look perfect, but you're doing it, you're being consistent, and not to beat up on yourself. And I'm so grateful for that. As far as other people who are not through this journey and are not really understanding what I am going through, I'm kind of slowly separating myself from them, because I don't really want people to try to sabotage me. I'm not gonna say they're doing it on purpose, but even inadvertently, because they don't understand what I'm doing or they don't get what I'm doing. I'm really focused on surrounding myself by people who are on the same path as me, and to only speak with those people who kind of understand it, because this is not just a diet. This is not a diet. This is a live it. And this is how I'm looking at it. This is my live it. And this is something that I want to maintain and sustain and to keep it going until the day that the Creator decides to bring me, take me from this place. And so I need to really focus on creating the healthiest habits and the best mental environment that I can, because one of the things that with me fasting is the mental clarity, and just me even remembering things, and me not feeling like I'm always in a constant haze. And I didn't really understand that before until I started doing this water fast, that like I would hear people say, oh, I'm no longer walking in a fog and a haze, and I didn't really get it. Now I really get it, and I know now because my body is able to create stem cells, and it is connecting to my brain, and my brain is getting more clearer and sharp. To me, that is amazing. And I want to keep that all up, because when I become 80 and 90, inshallah, God willing, I want to have a clear, focused mind to deal with my family. I want to be very um, uh, agile. And if I keep on the path that I was, that definitely wasn't going to happen. I used to go to bed sleeping, thinking, I may not wake up in the morning, because that's how bad I was feeling, but I wasn't willing to do anything about it. Now I'm feeling like I'm ready to do something about it, and I know it's not going to be a quick fix. It took a long time for me to get here, so I know it's going to take some time to get to where I need to be. Um, I'm giving myself a year, and I keep saying, give yourself a year, give yourself a year, and then find a rhythm that is sustainable for you. Find a rhythm. Do I want to just eat one meal a day? No, but do I want to eat multiple times a day? I'm trying to work out that rhythm so that I can be accountable to myself, and show myself the same kind of care and love that I gave to my children, to my exes, to my ex, when I had my husband. Give them the same kind of love and respect, and nurturing about their wellness and nutrition, but focus on myself to give myself that same kind of the love and attention. So it's a balance. And you know I'm so grateful for the community that I have found that is going through this, because when I first was introduced to water fasting, it was through my girlfriend, my business partner, may she rest in peace. And it kind of scared me, because what I was seeing from her, I was like, oh, that's so dangerous. But then I started researching it, and I was like, okay, I can do this. But my health was so bad that I was really nervous to take that plunge. And my doctor just really didn't recommend it. But now, since I've started, I can feel my pressure has gone down. My mental clarity has come back. I'm not getting that, I'm not forgetting constantly. I just see such a difference, and it feels really good. So right now I'm sitting outside of Mom's organic market, because I was trying to determine whether I should break my fast, because I'm like maybe 23 hours in, or push through the night and just go in and get my breakfast that I want to break my fast with in the morning. I started breaking my fast with a smoothie, but I don't know if I want a smoothie, and I know I need to break it with enough protein, because one of the things, as I've been monitoring my food intake, protein is a big deal. And in order, when you're fasting, and because your body is using up so much energy, you have to have protein in it. And I was like, I really see now, like, I was a carbohydrate queen. I was feeding my body so much carbohydrate that it was just turning uh, it was turning into like sugar. Hold on, what's that? I see something there. I shouldn't choose. Okay, I don't know what that means. Where are you in space? What's that background? Oh, I am a car lifer. So these are my interior lights in my car. So yeah, so I travel in my car, and I do all kinds of things in my car. So right now I'm in the process of building my car out. Right now I have, I'm about to build my platform bed. I have my refrigerator. I have my lights. I have a whole thing going on. And I travel in there, but right now I'm stationary. Um, so yeah, I'm so that's what the lights are, because I'm just sitting out here. I said, let me turn my lights on so I can have some lights going on. Otherwise, it's like really, see, it's really dark. So I just a little bit of ambiance. So that's where I'm at in my car. um, yeah, but anyway, I talked long enough. I think I'm gonna try to do a live on with StreamYard on Sunday, like I said, so that I can um do a fit check, because this body is not cool. But as I'm going through this process, I want to be as transparent as possible, because if you don't see where I started, you don't see, you got to see the journey, the beginning, the end. So I definitely want to make sure I share anything that I've learned about nutrition, about exercise, about just any tips and tricks. One of the things that I know I was really learning is about the 5 things that are really helpful during your water fast, and that's like cinnamon, sumac, fennel, cinnamon, fennec, uh, fennel, and I can't think of the other 2 right now, but I'm going to start incorporating them when I break my fast. I'm going to look for maybe a soup recipe, so that I think that would be a good recipe, because I can see myself doing a soup with all those in it. And I think I found a really good smoothie to break my fast with. So I know yesterday I did spinach. It was spinach, a 3-ingredient coconut milk, because it had like coconut milk, filter water, and sea salt. Um, Coconut milk yogurt, avocado, chia seeds, peanut butter, a veggie protein powder, a third of a banana, some melon, and I think that was everything I had. And I blended that up, and it was kind of the consistency of like like yogurt, and it was really good. That really satiated me. And then I had like a nice little meal, like with cabbage, chickpeas, and salmon. It was a Jamaican dish. So I'm really trying to break my fast in the best way. So in the morning, I'm really trying to think how I should break my fast, because if I go through the night, I'm going to be at work. So I want to make sure I don't do anything to like really mess with my system, because everything that I'm learning as the longer you fast, you got to slowly introduce food into your system, and so you shouldn't really do like breads or like very hard vegetables like broccoli or asparagus. You got to be very mindful of what you're introducing it into it. So I'm thinking about doing something like a tempeh, because that's high in protein. And then the smoothie that I made yesterday, a tempeh. And it's the food thing is really a challenge, but what I'm learning is you gotta prepare what you're going to break your fast with. Otherwise, you will make some very ill choice food decisions. So I'm going to work on what I'm going to break my fast with in the morning, because I just now decided, well, since I've been on this live, that I'm going to keep fasting until tomorrow, and then I will let you know exactly how many hours I fast. But I definitely will hit the 30 mark. I said I wanted to hit 30 mark, so let me go ahead and do 30 mark. I'm going to continue with the noise fast. I'm not taking any phone calls from people. I don't want anyone interrupting with my train of thought, upsetting me, so that while I'm working through my emotional situation, like I need to know where I am at. And right now, because of all that I'm dealing with, I have told people to leave me alone right now. But if they won't respect me and my wishes while I'm working through all of what I'm going through, then I'm going to have to make sure that I demand the respect that I need so that I can work through my health issues and like everything that I'm dealing with. And this is new for me, because I've always allowed myself to be overtaken. I've always been a people pleaser. I have always put myself last and put other people ahead of me. And so I think a lot of people are really having challenges with me putting me first, and that's okay. They'll get over it. I'm learning that. They'll get over it. If they love you, they'll get over it, and they will understand that you had to take the time out for yourself to do what you need to do for yourself. Because doing this, if you have 100 pounds or more to lose, which I do, and this is a life and death situation, because it can give you a heart attack. It messes with your mental health. It messes with your self-esteem. If they can't understand that you needed to put yourself first and focus on yourself first, then you don't need them in your life. So yeah, this is all new for me, and I'm really liking it. And so I'm going to brainstorm some more on what is my best option. I will do a check-in tomorrow to let you know exactly how it went. And the notes that I took, I'll try to make sure I write them down so I can share with you all what I learned in regards, like the 5 things to help with your that you should consume while you're fasting, because I know 2 of them helps with inflammation, one helps with lowering blood sugar. I think it was like ginger helps lower the blood sugar, and I think sumac helps with inflammation. Fennel helps with inflammation. So I want to get all that information, and then I'm going to look for Celtic sea salt, so that I can keep myself what do they call it? My electrolytes, because the Celtic sea salt will help with the electrolytes. So I'm going to get some Celtic sea salt. Some of these chat things I don't understand. So I'm going to get some Celtic sea salt, so that will help with my electrolytes. And I'm going to stop getting distracted. And you all have a blessed one, inshallah. So I will check in tomorrow. I will do a fit check on Sunday. So I will be doing it on my StreamYard, and I'll probably do it in the early part of the day, like in the morning, so that I can go into the library, have a room, and then I can do all that and just chat with you all for a while. And until next time, this is Empress, and this is TIEbyKidist, and thank you for joining. This is my accountability channel while I go through this weight loss. All right, peace.